Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to From Startup to Takeover Watches Work podcast. Hi, Kim.
Hey, the Twigs. What's going on? It's been how
Girl,
many days?
Hmm?
It's been some days since we last spoken. So let's catch up. What's been going on with you? Like,
Yes, it
what's
has.
exciting? What you do in your garden? Did you get anything out of it?
Oh,
What's
yeah. So every day I've been getting out anywhere from green beans, cucumbers, okra, basil, oregano, mint. Today, tomatoes for my dad. My dad loves tomatoes, so I actually made him some corn, tomato, and okra stew.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, honey. So I was able to actually finally get all the ingredients at the same time, the tomatoes with the okra to line it up, and made him that one day. But today, girl, I meant to send you the picture. I took out these big, beautiful green onions. Oh,
No.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing with that. I'm doing a different tea. I remember I was telling you about the basil oregano tea. I'm now doing a fenugreek with clove tea.
Mm, mm,
You know, the cold season starting to come in, so I'm gonna start
mm-hmm.
trying to do the cloves and
They said that's good.
chewing on a couple of those before I go to bed. Yeah.
Yep, and the that what it how you say Firkins?
Fenugreek, FENUT.
They said that is good for a number of things.
Yep. So I do that, and I've been doing it now for about 5 days of fenugreek tea with adding me some cloves in it. And I made one for my baby, but I put peppermint in his.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a little bit better
And
flavor.
peppermint's good
He
for
do
you.
like the basil tea. So to help him, because he started getting a little sniffle, so I put cloves, peppermint, and basil in his. Oh, with some fenugreek as well, and gave him that. Yeah, so
And
that's
I
what
think
I'm doing.
I think that's good because if people really do that, start drinking teas, and when when the seasons start to come in, just to counter it,
Yeah.
think it'll do better instead of have to run to the doctor or getting stuff from the drugstore. You can start taking those teas because those are the benefits of those teas.
Well, so my dad, out of our parents, two of us, we don't do medicine. Since I was a kid, me and my baby brother. I'm the one, even as a teenager, I recall, it was very rare for me to get a headache. I'm talking about maybe twice a year, if that. But if I did, I remember I would always say, no, I just sleep it off. My parents love trying to give you medicine, but I don't even know what it was. Like I said, I was just young and I just didn't want to take medicine. So even as I got grown, I've always just let my body fight stuff unless it got really, really extremely bad. But
Mhm.
even in the military, if they prescribe me something, I ain't
Yeah.
take it
Yeah.
because I always felt uncomfortable with that, but not
Mhm.
understanding even why.
Mhm.
It was just
Yep.
something I wasn't quick to just go, ooh, 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 let me
Yep.
take this. But it's so weird. That was for myself. But with my babies, girl, I used to get so nervous. Let me give you this.
Yeah.
Let me give you
Yeah.
this medicine.
I did
I used to get
too,
so
not knowing any
nervous.
better. Even
And
for
I
myself, I didn't take like medicine like I used to take goody pies. I used to think that was the all medicine for all things.
girl,
And
let me tell
then
you, it's so funny. I didn't even know people still took that stuff until my dad moved with me. I was like,
uh-huh.
wait a minute, people still take this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, but yeah, go ahead.
And I was taking them until we had a car accident. Then they started giving me pills, but I'm still immature. Don't even know what they're giving me. But I didn't like the way I was feeling,
Hmm, hmm,
so I stopped taking it. And I had to
hmm.
learn to take. I start. That's when the research comes. Let me get natural
Yeah.
because I need something else. I know it's something. God got to have something else because I don't think these pills was made when the earth was made. So
Hmm,
it's got to be something else. So that's how I started over with the teas and stuff, and it really worked. So
hmm,
yeah. Mhm.
hmm. So just trying to get ahead of the game. Like I'm
Mhm.
also rubbing like organic castor oil on my baby's feet at night when
Mhm.
he go to sleep, the belly button, to help with
Mhm.
digestion. So I'm just continually studying, adding
Yeah.
things.
Mhm.
Because after learning that they pretty much take the nature
Mhm.
and doctor it up, I was like, wait a minute, just so they
Mhm.
could sell it. And the
Mhm.
hypocrisy behind, oh, those are weeds. Get this stuff to kill
Yep.
your weeds. That's
Mhm.
medicine out there. And
Yep.
so learning
All
all that, I'm just like, yeah, let me do better as a
right.
parent, right?
Right.
Um, and I have the conversations with my children, and my daughter, she's still more of, Mom, can I have some medicine? I'll be like, girl. So with her, so I'm the female who never got cramps, right? When
Mhm.
it's that time of the
Mhm.
month, I had to learn the cycle. I had to be able to learn to
Mhm.
count. I didn't get bloating, no cramps, none of that. Well, my sister that was in the house with me, hers would be so bad you couldn't sit on the bed during that time.
Mhm.
Like if
Mine
she landed
too.
in bed, I couldn't just plop on the bed. It's like, hey girl, I start talking. Oh my gosh, the
Mhm.
pain that she was in. She couldn't ride in the car. And I used to think she was faking. I'm just being honest. I'm
No.
just a weird,
Oh.
right?
Mhm.
So I used to laugh at her
Mhm.
just because I couldn't relate. I didn't understand. And with my immaturity, I just didn't understand it. And my mom used to always say, well, she like me. I used to be like that. And I'm just like, oh, y'all just can't take pain, right? And then I have my daughter, and oh my God, the pain that she would be in. Well, I also had a best friend. Hers would be so bad, she would
Mhm.
vomit, emergency room type thing. So
Yep.
I do know it exists now, right? And
Yep.
so with my daughter, I started looking at some natural remedies to start her on prior to. Here's the
Mhm.
kicker. Before even adding teas and trying to get this other stuff for her, I had my daughter um, just add more water to her diet
Mhm.
to
I'm
where with the fasting that we would do, like eating twice, I had her eating twice a day
Mhm.
and doing the water. Girl, water cramps stopped.
Yeah.
Then
Good.
she went back to eating bad because she once you feel good,
Yeah.
you kind of like, and so I'm now like learning about the different herbal stuff that you can use, but just knowing
Yeah.
fasting, just a
Yeah.
daily fast, changing
Yeah.
your diet.
Yeah.
We had removed dairy from her diet. I even saw her drinking. So since my dad, this is another thing, guys. I will say this: you have to be careful when you let people come into your home because no matter how much love you got, they're gonna bring their habits, right?
Mhm.
My
Yeah.
parents had some bad eating habits, let me say. Okay. So
Mhm.
my dad wanted to make something, girl, and it comes with whole milk. Well, we don't drink whole milk, right? We
Mm.
don't drink milk. So I saw my daughter 3 days ago. She was drinking a cup of milk. I said, wait a minute. I said, you drink this? She's like, yeah, I like it. I was like, oh Lord, but that's not the only thing, girl. My dad would be trying to have my baby have snacks, and I was like, Lord Jesus, I ain't even think about
I
this
already
part.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I was stationed at home, and I used to have to tell my dad, look, they get one snack a month. That's how strict I was.
Yeah.
And They was sneaking them stuff. Girl, so was Granny. They
Yeah,
was
I
sneaking them
know.
stuff. But because I've been gone for so long, I forgot that people have their own habits. And that's my father,
Mhm.
right? He's gonna eat how he
Mhm.
want to do, he's gonna do what he want to do.
Yes.
And so the battle now is look. I'm not telling you that you can't have this stuff at all. But please be mindful when you're bringing it in, you're ordering it all the time, then their diet, they're going to want it because this is years of bad stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so that's the battle that we're having. But I saw her drinking milk and my mind was just blown. I was like, ew, you know.
But I want you to look up red raspberry. It has to just say red raspberry tea. That is some
Oh, I know
tea.
about red raspberry tea.
Yeah, look it up.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's for good for those cramps, for getting
But
your
all she has to do is go to, we've already seen just the water and changing the diet.
yeah,
And that's what I was
because
saying.
it's
So
under his body.
I was looking at
Yeah.
the herbal teas and found out how to wrap her stomach
Mm-hmm.
about a few days before because she tracked herself a few days before. And I'm just like, when
Yeah.
she do the diet, it goes away. But
Yeah.
you know, it reminds me of when they say people just want to eat bad and take a pill. They're just
Yep.
like, look, if I can eat what I want to eat because it tastes good, then I'll pop
Mhm.
that pill for the rest of my life. And it's like, what?
And they don't and they don't
So
understand that a lot of foods cause inflammation. And people
absolutely.
and
Mhm.
that's inflammation is that pain.
Yep.
They don't understand. You're sticking anything in your mouth because you think you can, but it's
Girl,
when
they understand and don't care because they just know they can pop a pill that's gonna get rid of that pain and they don't have to put in the work. Cause see, it's hard work
it is
to be
hard work.
consistent and that discipline in
Mhm.
anything is hard work.
It is.
And so they choose where they want to practice. Well, let me say
Mhm.
this: we all choose where we want to practice discipline at,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And one of the because I have my imperfections, but the diet isn't my biggest one anymore. And it's something that I want to push out to family and friends
Yeah.
for not just longevity, because we're not all guaranteed to be here long, but it's for the quality of the life you have. Um, and it doesn't mean you can't enjoy some stuff. That's never what I'm saying.
Right.
Um, but just when you know you're hurting and you can change that thing around, I just wish that people would,
Yeah,
but it's their life.
I think we discussed this before. I think we talked about it because it is written that it's not what you put in your mouth that defiles you, is what comes out of you. So if you put something, I feel like I got out of that. If you put something in there that's hurting you and defiling you, it doesn't need to go in there.
Right. Hmm.
And a lot of people are doing that. They just, like you said, keep continuously putting, and peeling, getting
Hmm.
sicker, constipation, everything, because those pills cause constipation.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
And
tell
look,
me
I'm
a
pressing
person
my
that
sister. Oh, go ahead.
just tell me a person that you've met that was taking pills or had to take a pill and didn't say they were constipated. I think that's the number one symptom.
What? Say that again now.
If
You
the
said what?
doctor, if you know a person I'm saying I know it's not one person that you have met that might have taken pills now or in the past or something and experienced constipation. I think that's the number one thing of taking pills, constipation, any kind of
I thought the
medicine.
only pill that caused that was iron pills. I don't know of another pill that caused constipation. What other pill caused
I'm
constipation?
saying like pain pills
They
and
don't
things
cause
like
constipation, do they?
yes, they do. That's
Maybe it
why
depends on the pill. Because
yeah, it does. It stops you, it does something to your body.
are you talking
Maybe
about? So
people,
which um do you have a pill?
anyone I take, I'm constipated and a lot of people around me say the same thing. It's hard for
Oh,
them to
you're
get
saying
together.
any pain pill that you take? So it
Yeah,
don't even
and
matter which one.
yeah, not
Okay.
even for me. And even I think even goody powder sometimes. Yeah, I think I have
Hmm.
that granny syndrome. But other people around me also say the same thing. Like they can't use the bathroom and they have to go to the doctor, ask them to give them some stool softeners, or they just go and get over counter stool softener to take as
Oh
well to make it
wow.
easier to come. But again, the eating habits, because the doctor did say fiber is missing. Like
Hmm.
not enough fiber in your body will also cause constipation. So if you're eating a lot of things that are not fiber, has fiber in it, that can cause it as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just looked it up. It said particularly opioids. opioids will cause. But see, I don't have pain. I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It
Yeah, that's
feels that for you.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
Hmm.
wow.
So it
Yeah, the only
does
thing I
something.
ever knew about was iron pills, and that ain't for pain, But yeah,
Uh-uh.
I didn't know. But I don't know anybody that take pain medicine, besides my dad. But he takes iron pill, and he's always had
Uh-huh.
that conversation about the iron pill. But oh wow.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
a lot.
gotcha.
Wow. So we are almost 16, almost 20 minutes in, and we haven't even touched on what we were episode 43. And what's this
Yeah,
about?
yeah, we did parental conflicts. And I talk about my dad and been on snacks.
You did. You did. And what does God? But does the goodness outweigh the trauma? What good? I mean, does
Does
God's good?
God's goodness, meaning his expectation, how we're supposed to be living, the goodness that he has for us, does that outweigh the trauma you have with parental conflicts? Because a lot of
Give me,
people,
give me
because
an
that's what I'm
example.
about to say, like a lot of people grow up with maybe their mother wasn't there, or maybe their father wasn't there, or if a parent was there, they weren't there properly. So then they have conflicts when they are an adult, right? So does your relationship with God, and God's relationship is going to be goodness, does that outweigh the trauma with your parents? Will you do God's work in spite of the parental conflict that you have, based on if they raised you, how they raised you, or if they were absent? Because a lot of people will go, as we tapped into last week, um, well, he ain't raised me, so he wasn't in my life, so I don't owe him nothing. Or let's say you have one to try to come in, a parent, and be active with the grandchildren, but they weren't active with you. You find some people don't respect those parents even when they're trying to show their growth with the grandchildren. So that's why I say, will
Because
the goodness of God outweigh that trauma that you've had,
yeah, if it's
when you're
being taught.
walking in that spiritual walk? Hmm?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, if it was being taught to that child growing up, that child, you teach a child the way you wanted to go, and they'll never depart from it. They will leave, but to come back. So I feel like if that was taught and that was constantly being in that child's life, or growing up in adult life, it's gonna be always there. But if it wasn't, it's not gonna be there, and that's
Yeah,
where
this is
that
about
pain.
if it wasn't. Well, it can be there because that's where God's goodness come in. At least
Yeah,
I believe, because there are some people who believe, nah, I don't owe that person nothing.
yeah. But
I
people gotta
think
know God's
you're
good.
supposed to, but this is about that. Remember, this is about, so if you're dating, and your 100 questions,
Hmm.
someone has parental conflict, and then it's kind of tie into, so how do you handle that parental relationship God's way? That's what that's kind of going into. Well, not kind of, that's what that's about. Because regardless if they were taught it, this is about the people who are while you're dating, finding out if that person is walking the right path, and then if they are there any parental conflicts, and if there are, how do they handle it as an adult, right? um because everybody wasn't taught. There are people whose parents, they raised them, they did the best they could, but God wasn't in it, right?
That's what I'm
But if
saying.
but if
But
that child is
God,
now an adult and they're walking, because a lot of times people learn about God don't have nothing to do with their parents. So if they're dating, because remember, this is about the people who are trying to have that kingdom living. So if
but
they're
still, you will still have to be taught the kingdom so you can live it. And I feel like if that was in that person's life, it doesn't matter who it is, and that person's life growing, 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 and they depart from it, they will always come back to it. So it, it still ties in with that. Like they will still come back to God's way.
what does that
Like
do with parental conflict?
if I'm thinking we on something totally different in a way, because I'm saying if even like a child, you change it, it's written, you teach a child the way it should go, and when it grow up, it'll go that way. I'm not saying the scripture all the way right because I'm saying it fast, but you know what I'm talking about in that scripture. I'm sure you're familiar with it. You teach a
Right, but I'm
child.
asking for the episode. How does that tie into the parental conflict, I guess I'm trying to find, because you last week you were saying you wanted to
Because if a grown up, if you're talking to your, just use you, if you're talking to your dad any kind of way, so you've been doing it all the time when you were younger. So where was it?
Oh, you're talking about if you're just a
Yes.
disrespectful kid.
No, not even a kid. Grown-ups are disrespectful to their parents now. So were they taught to I'm sorry, were they taught to be disrespectful of their kids?
If they were a kid, so if they're an adult
parents
being
teaching them?
disrespectful,
No,
would
no,
that
I'm
have
saying
started as a kid?
were their parents teaching them about God and how they should act, or how God would like to see them act, or what the word was saying as they grew? Did they have any of that growing? And I feel like if they did and they departed from it, they would go back to it.
Well, that's just one. I think that's one particular area, right? Because so you're saying if the parent taught, that's what I'm saying. So even if they weren't,
what you mean if they
so
weren't?
even if they weren't taught, there are people who don't find nothing out about God until they are an adult, right?
That's right. But
So
somebody teaching them who already knew about it, they're leading
no,
them.
I got that part. I guess the part that's throwing me out, because you're going to, well, if they taught you that way and you go backward,
you're gonna go back to it.
Yeah, but what if they weren't?
That's what I said. Unless you were not taught that growing, you're not going to go back to it. You're going to still be disrespectful unless you get with someone, like you just said.
Oh, yeah.
That
Okay.
has that in them.
I think how you be explaining stuff sometimes throwing me off. I got you, because I was like, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah,
it got to be somewhere. It has to be put into you. And someone to put something in you. I don't care who it is. And if your parent guided you all the way to adulthood, and you venture off saying, I don't want to do it no more, I'm mad at God, or whatever the case may be, I don't want to think about it anymore, you may do that, but you will go back because it's already in you.
Hopefully you had time to go back. You know, people die. We can't. I don't know, but I don't think. Hopefully, prayerfully, you have a time to turn it around before.
That's why I say that's why he uses our voices, so people can want to turn it around.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be about dating, right? So if
even just
I guess it was about no. What I'm talking about is, so we were doing the 100 questions, right? Yeah. So this was
what's the question out of there?
Say it again.
What's a question that could be asked at a date from this, what we just explained?
It would be, so, how do you feel about, what's your relationship with your parents, right? Because this is about the person who is walking the walk. This is about, out of the two people dating, one of them is walk. So when we started the 100 questions, one of these people is already walking that walk, right? Has already started their path. We don't know where they are in it, but this is about finding out where the other person is. So in that, and one of those questions is, and when it comes to parental conflicts, regardless of how they grew up, if you have, because everybody don't have parental conflicts, right? Let's be honest. But if you have one, would God's goodness outweigh that trauma? Because I know I used to say it immaturely. I want to say immaturely. I just regurgitated it. I used to always say, well, that's your parents. Look, that's your parents. Look, that's your parents. I have learned, because some people got some stories, baby, that I think you should love them from a distance, that I do believe in. So that with that parental conflict, it's not in your day-to-day life.
Yep.
Because I do not believe that just because you and someone carry the same blood, that y'all should continue to stay in each other's life if it is toxic. I do not.
Yeah, I like that question. What how's your relationship with your parents? They probably won't say a parental conflict. They'll probably be like,
how's go into it.
You know what I'm saying? What if your mother make you angry or does something you don't like? How do you?
Well, they gonna tell you. Look, when you ask that question, how's your relationship with your parents? Oh, it's gonna come out if it's good or not.
And I'm saying, are you godly? Do you act godly with your parent? If your mother makes you mad, do you act godly or do you act devilish? That would be my question. Are you acting godly? You're his ways, his goodness, his grace, because you're like him, so you have all that. Are you acting like that with your mom, saying, well, mom, okay, I'm stepping back, or whatever. It's a good answer. I mean, you're doing something positive instead of going negative back to her. See,
focusing in on God's goodness. Yeah.
right,
Can you? Because
right.
some people
Yeah.
stuff, man, ooh.
And even you have a conflict in with your dad because don't be bringing that in here. You're disrupting my flow in my home.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah, but
that
I
the
don't have any trauma. So this is about people who have, I think, bad. So let me be clear. I don't have any trauma with my
no,
parents,
no,
right?
it
No,
don't
no,
have
no.
to even be about trauma. I'm just saying it's part of the 100 questions. Like I'm just
Well,
giving.
but I don't think if you don't have trauma, I don't think you're gonna be disrespectful to your parents. You think without trauma, there's gonna be disrespect towards your parent?
Yes, because some kids are spoiled and their parent let them say anything and do anything they want to.
Ooh. So now you're going to
Some
kids. I'm thinking of adults. Okay, okay, I got you. Okay,
Yes,
so let's
they
go
do.
kids.
They say
Okay.
anything, and anything adult does that now. You spoiled to death because your mother or your father let you just be spoiled and give you everything and do whatever you want. They feel that they're entitled to talk to you any kind of way. Yes, it happens.
Mm, yeah, I was only focused on trauma because I didn't even think
No,
about
no, that's why I said these
just a
questions can go
little.
into deeper conversations. It's just
Mm-hmm.
not you're not the top of the
Hold
surface.
on, I feel like you're yelling. Calm down.
Huh?
I feel like
Huh?
you're yelling.
Oh
Well,
no,
hold
no, no,
on.
no. I must
So
be.
keep,
No, I'm
keep
not
going.
yelling. No,
Yeah, no, that means you're excited. Keep going.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
break it
it's
down
like
for me.
you
Mhm.
have to know, like people that don't have you didn't have any conflict, did you? I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah,
But I do. But I've been all over the world, baby, and I gonna ran
yeah,
into some stuff that I told you. I started changing my immediate response because my
yes,
immediate response. Well, that's your
yeah,
parents. Wait a minute. That's your parents.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes you really got to walk through and talk to these people because
yes,
it's not that just
that's right.
it's your parents. Yeah, it's your parents. However, maybe yes, love your parents from a distance. That I'm gonna stick to, but you
Yes,
gotta remove yourself. I
that's right.
that whole
Exactly.
let's keep a relationship, let's keep I
You
don't
can
believe
love
that
your
no more.
parents.
I usually think you got you better respect your parents. You can need to go out there and just still be no, because
No,
if it keeps pulling you in, pulling you away from God's goodness. Because see, the relationship you have with God is gonna be based on what you're putting into your
and
relationship with
see, and I think
God.
it's with the parents because the parents
Mhm.
have to put it in them to start to grow, to be an adult. You have to and you have to be the one to start to instill things into your seed so they can
Mhm.
grow. And a lot of people didn't do that
Yeah,
and are still not doing that.
not doing it now, right? Hmm.
Yeah. So, like I just said, a great example. I know plenty of spoiled kids
You mean
that
adult?
parents everything, let them did anything, gave them cars when they were 16. I'm talking about Mercedes and all kind of stuff. And they get out my room. And I'll be like, see,
Ooh, ooh,
ooh, you
wait
know
a
what I'm
minute
saying?
now.
Like these
So they
kids are
gave. I don't care if it was a hoopty.
my
Your
nerves.
parents giving you cars and you telling them to get out your room.
Yeah, my mom get on my nerve. I don't want to talk to her. I'm talking about adults. It you yes. So that's what I'm saying. Ask the question: how do you react when you're with your parents if they don't do something that they do something that you don't like, or they may say something, or they may get in your business. How do you react? Because a lot of kids have, even if you didn't have conflict, how would you act? How do you act? Are
I,
you that type of child, or were you the one that's respectful and you
oh no, I'm
know?
respectful. Yeah,
No,
but
not you. I'm saying
no,
not
no.
you. I'm
Oh, I thought you said were you that type
talking,
of child? I
yeah,
got you.
no, I'm just talking as the question. I'm talking out loud.
Well, I think you look. That's gonna be a mixture, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
when you doing something I hadn't thought about, when you talking about trauma, we talking about spoil. So, and then of course, yeah, you do become an adult. Um, ooh, Jesus,
Yeah. You
yeah,
don't have to be
I don't
trauma
know.
is an open question. So you just talking to the person, get to know them, and you only want to know about the trauma. No, you might not have any trauma, but so how do you act? Even though you don't have any trauma, or
Even
you
ain't no trauma, you still got to be respectful. Cause now here's the other
how
piece.
do you
Now
act?
your parents probably need to separate themselves from you.
That's right.
Instead of you needing to separate, because the parents are,
It's
y'all
fighting,
got
you
it,
don't
y'all
you
have an issue about how you grew up, and so you got an issue with parents. So the twist that you put in, no, what if you are the issue? Then the parents got to tell you, I love you
yeah.
from a
And
distance.
and you
But I
know
can't
it's
have that up in here because especially when, let's say you're raising children, right? So they're young, like you're saying, they're just spoiled. It's maybe you're strict, right? As a parent, and so let's say you have multiple children, and you have just one out that bunch. That one will ruin it with the other kids. So what do you do?
Watching them. You're watching
Right.
them. Everything comes from in the house. That they are in the home and they're watching what's going on in the home. So they're gonna follow us. So my brother or sister can do that. I know I can get away with it.
Yeah. And so, and then I think the other sad part, I'm losing my train of thought because I just saw something. My God.
I know we it's written that we're not supposed to make our kids feel guilty about anything.
I think that if you have an adult child, oh my goodness, just being nasty to the parent,
because it's a lot.
Is that partly the parent's fault? Good God.
You say that again?
I wondered if that's somehow the parent's fault. Because how was that able to even
allow it? They allowed it as a child to talk to them any kind of way because they probably thought it was cute, or maybe they were abused instead of being parented when they were smaller. So I'm not going to beat my child. I don't let my child never voice my child this. But this child is talking to you any kind of way because this child thinks that you are the brother or the sister to them and you're equal. So they can talk to you any kind of way. You pay the bills, but they tell you to get out. No.
Wait a minute. You pay your bills, but your kids tell you to get out your house?
Not out the house, out their room.
Oh, okay. You like the teenagers. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, those are just.
It starts in the home. That's what I say. Or did we teach our children about God? See, I'm doing it now. Maybe because, like I said, young, made a lot of mistakes, didn't know, grew. So now, as with my grandkids, everything is about God. Look at God in everything. Look for Him in everything. We were over the weekend. Example. My grandson had his first soccer game, and I was like, we was cheering him on, telling me, you did so good. And he was like, did you see me? I was like, yeah, I saw you kick this or that or whatever. And he was like, yeah. I was like, you got to do this. He was like, Mama, you know what? It's not all about that. It's about having fun. Yes, he did. I was like, you're right, baby. It's about having fun, but you still want to kick a little harder, get that ball in that goal. So I'm still teaching him. They know that. They think about God in everything. He think it's having fun because that's what God wants him to do. It's not going out there hurting anyone. Older, he knows that. A big boy. He was like,
wait a minute, hold on. What sport he playing?
Soccer. Yes, a big boy.
Look, no, I'm laughing because you said for him not to go out there hurting.
Yes, because the big boy tried to
look, y'all, listen. I love him, but look, you can't go up in these sports playing being soft. We ain't even play that game. Look,
I know. I told him that.
Look, now. Don't get that baby flip because soccer is rough. People think it's easy, but you watch them adult soccer players, baby.
Yeah. He was being rough. He said, Mama, I'm not trying to body shame anyone. This is him telling me after the game. I said, what that? He said, that big boy, he's a big boy, a big, heavy dude boy, and he tried to clip me up. I said, so what you do to him? Because, we be teaching him. He said, I went back into him. I said, I know that's right. I don't care how big he is.
Look, I'm laughing. He said that big boy.
And then I turned it around and I said, I shouldn't tell you that because you should go back at him.
It's a sport, though. Yeah, that's different. But look, I think you just got to teach him different from when he playing sports versus, regular. But I'm sorry, I got stuck on when he says a big boy. Yeah, girl, I saw a case with crazy. Hold on, I saw a crazy thing with Cardi B.
Yeah,
girl at court. I'm sorry, I laughed. Forgive me, Lord. Cardi B said that. So you trying to say she's something about her body? Cardi B said like she do secure, like she can guard secure the building.
The building. I was like, yeah, that was Shannon said. I'm not trying to body shame, but he's a big boy. I'm not. He trying.
So he can do security for the building. That's.
Yeah.
When she said that, Oh my God, I think I'm gonna use that somewhere. That's the nice way. She was trying to be nice. Yeah, you know
Yes.
I'm not a Cardi B fan, but she was
Yeah,
trying to
she
be
was
nice,
trying
and
to
I
be
called that
sweet.
girl
Yes,
big.
she
So she
did.
was like, she was.
Yeah.
He said so.
She was like, I
He
want
was
to
like,
give her.
He said, how do you know she's big, or how do you? Cardi B was like, look. She wanted to say, look.
You see her? She looking, putting her hand out like, like, look. That what Shannon was doing. Look, big boy.
You know what? I gotta give Cardi B her credit. She know how to be respectfully
Yes.
distasteful.
Mhm. Yeah.
Secure the
Oh,
building. I mean, she looked like,
so
girl.
yeah, I'm putting it
Yeah.
into him. He's getting taught that by me, his parents are being taught, he open the door. He'll open the door, the gate for a woman really quickly. Like
Mm-hmm.
you put it in there now. And if he
Oh
says
yeah.
something out of
Mm-hmm.
line, you correct him now, and to show him why you're correcting them, or tell him it grows with them. That
Yep.
wasn't being done. It was like, be quiet. You shouldn't be saying that. Go in that room. It was those type of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, my
how's your
baby boy, he's 6, he started last year. Out of nowhere, early in the morning when I'm taking him to school, he made me get in. So he would shut my door for me. And I remember I was like, baby, the first time when he did it, I was like, baby, I got it. He was like, no, I'll close the door
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
But with
that's what.
any girl, yeah, he's gonna let you go through the door first, and he try to grab it. I'm like, this. I said, boy, go teach your daddy.
Mhm. Not the
Woo,
baby.
child,
Baby
I'm
boy
always
too.
throwing shots. My husband get drive-bys every time we on the podcast, don't he? But
No, he
yeah,
do.
girl, my baby. I said, go show your daddy. Martino would just be laughing. Woo, child.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, so
that's this question. How's your, what was the question again? What did it say? How's your relationship with how's your uh your God? No, say the question. How you
I,
would
I
act
yeah.
uh
So it's
yeah.
pretty much just in regards to parental conflicts. That's why you have the
Yeah,
semicolon. Then does God's
yeah,
goodness outweigh that? Right?
mhm,
Meaning
right.
understanding in your walk that you are a child of God and there is a certain way how you are supposed to be living with the goodness of what He offers, who He is, and who you are
Mm-hmm.
outweigh the disrespect towards your parents,
Right.
regardless of how they raised you, regardless of how your relationship is now. Even some parents are, as they like to say, they are set in their ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does God's goodness outweigh that in how you relate to them?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you are walking this walk, the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm. Was it introduced in your life? Was it taught to you in your bringing of God's goodness? And do you carry that?
And if it wasn't, and you are there now,
Mm-hmm.
do you stay
Yeah.
in that?
Yep.
Because you have to take that cross and
Mm-hmm.
you gotta die. You gotta take up the cross and die daily. And even with your parents and that pain that sometimes parents can inflict, it can cause lifelong pain. But
Mm-hmm.
with that, can you take up that cross and die daily? Um, and it's not a pretense of it being easy. I do believe that it's easier when you're walking with God. I do believe that helps with whatever situations you're going through. And so this pretty much was just to say ensure that you stay in God's word
Yeah,
so that regardless of whatever issue you come upon, um you're able
yeah,
to treat those people as God would want you to.
that's right. What's pleasing in
And also think about what God wants for you. And I
mm-hmm.
think that's where people have to take into account that you can love someone from a distance. Be grateful that they brought you here. Without
Yep.
your parents, you would not be here. Not to
Yep.
excuse whatever wrongdoing or bad
Yep.
doing they could be still inflicting upon you today. If that is the case, remove yourself.
You're right. Word is written. You remove yourself from negative to positive. So if
Ab-
parent negative, remove yourself. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because God is higher than everyone. So if
Yeah.
that's the parent that's doing it, then remove yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think that
Yeah.
that is the only one I think. So here's where I have issue. Is where because God tells you if you are married and that person that you are married to is not walking that walk, God do tell you to be there and let that person receive God through you. He don't say through your parents. He does not say that. He don't say for your not through your parents, for your siblings, for your cousins. So but you got to understand that's an institution that he prioritizes. The institution of marriage is held in high esteem.
Mhm.
So God does tell you that he can get through that person through you.
Mhm.
Now, we ain't talking about nobody beating you upside the head. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it.
Mhm.
We're not talking about that. And we know
Not at
we're talking about a
all.
good person that just don't believe in God's
That's
walk, right? Because you're already married, so you don't run out there and get no divorce. That ain't what he's saying. that ain't in the Bible. That
mhm.
you realize, oh, I got a bad one, so let me go on and separate from him. That's not
Let
in
your
there.
goodness show. Let your goodness show, and they're going to want to follow that goodness. Like, where's
Well,
then?
they're gonna want to follow that goodness. Hold
Mhm.
on. Or they're going to exit. Those are
Right.
facts. They
That's
don't
right.
always want to come and hop on and say, "Ooh, let me do that with you." They're either going to change or your change is going to cause
Mhm.
them to exit. That's where you're covered because God also says if they leave, you let
That's
them
right.
depart.
Just
But
let them
this
depart.
is not a yeah. So that parental conflict, but I talk about that separation. Now, when you're married, he don't just say go out there and just go separate. He does not say that.
Mhm.
But if
Mhm.
that person do leave, you do have a right to divorce. I said it. It is in there. Now
Let
figure it
them.
out. Yeah.
That's right. Let them go. Let them depart.
Yeah. So and so you don't those parental conflicts are tough because a lot of people tell you, oh, that's your parents. You got to stay right there and you got to keep these people will cause you so much harm.
Yeah.
Um if there is such bad trauma, or parental conflict and it's you the child. Well, first of all,
That's
if you the child, you need to get yourself together. Because if you are out here abusing your parents that way, especially talking about older now, and you're just abusing, verbally abusing your parents.
good
Um,
for you
and
too,
you're
'cause
abusing their love, their gentleness. Just yeah. I hadn't even thought about the spoiled ones. I ain't talking about somebody got
yeah,
mental problems because that's something totally different, chemical
yeah,
imbalance. We're not talking
yeah.
about that. We're just talking
Mama's
about outright, like she said, spoiled
yeah,
adult,
yes,
not
yes.
getting your way and
Entitled
still trying to
kids
be
thinking they're
nasty towards their
entitled.
parents.
Yeah, yeah. And some of them think they're entitled because they grew up entitled. Their parents let them think they were entitled. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
That's
mm.
another story, honey. But yeah,
Yeah, if you don't have a chemical imbalance for that, yeah, you need to get yourself together because
mm,
ain't no way,
yeah. And
ain't
God
no
says,
way.
correct that child. The child should be corrected. So you need to be. So it's a different when corrected in an abuse.
Hmm.
Some kids like to say, I'm being abused, but you're only being corrected because you're getting your whooped. But you're only being corrected, not being abused.
Mm-mm.
But so, hey,
Yeah, that's
all right.
crazy.
So that's good. We're gonna see. But what's that? What's your walk with God with your parents? Are you one of those that no matter what, you're gonna respect your parents, or are you the one of those that you do whatever you want and say whatever you want? That would be one of my questions.
Mine would be more so. So tell me, how did you grow up? What's your relationship like with your parents? How was that? And let them
Mm,
go right on into it. They gonna tell it because
That's a good
here's what I noticed.
one.
To me, I'm gonna tell you this. It reminded me when I used to date guys. Right? This how I always had a question. Oh, so tell me, you smoke weed? Here's
Mhm.
why I did it that way. Because if I led with the negativity of I don't like smoke, they're gonna hide it from me.
Yep.
So I always upped it like it was okay to find
Mhm.
out the truth. Girl, then I'd be
Mhm.
like, then I would just exit because I just didn't date nobody that did drugs. But
Mhm.
so I think it was something like this would be the same. I think it should just be something spilled about how was your childhood?
Yeah.
How's your
Yeah.
relationship today with your parents? And I think they're gonna go into it because I think if
Right
you ask
leeway.
me,
Mhm.
yeah, they may, you gotta let people you gotta
Mhm.
start this conversation, let them go.
Yeah.
And then, you guys kind of go back and forth. But if you lead and trying to find out where they might try to hold it back a little
Yeah.
bit, or yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's definitely a good one to know, because think
Mhm.
about it. If you fall in love with this person and want to marry him, those become your kids' grandparents.
That's
So
right.
now you about to bring that stuff over here to my kids?
Hey, what's the relationship going to be with you and that grandparent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it
And
all
then
ties.
if you have one like Kim brought up, just a spoiled entitled,
Yeah.
let them speak. It'll come out. You're here, just them having a conversation.
Yep.
You'll get it if that's how they treat their parents, that kind of stuff. So it can go either way. That's why I like, at first when Kim said the 100 question, I'm like, oh, child. But the
Because
good thing about this stuff is, it's just to start a dialogue and let
yeah,
people roll with it. Let them get things out, and let them
give you
be
some ideas.
authentically. Let them be
Yeah.
authentically themselves. Don't judge them on the spot. Just let them
Mhm.
get it out so you
Yeah.
can make your call on whether or not you want to continue. Don't judge people when they're telling you what's going on.
The 100 questions are just to give you some ideas of
Yeah.
how to start a conversation for the kingdom, to know if
Mhm.
this is gonna be, something you gonna wanna be in for a long time or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, these are just we've given you ideas of questions to ask.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. So
And this is a
it's the
good one, the
comfortable.
parental thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
comfortable. You're not
there
going
are a lot
in.
of go ahead.
Yeah, like you say, it's comfortable. You're not going in there with a negative way of asking a question. You're making
Mhm.
it where it's cool and comfortable, and we're having a conversation and we're
Yeah.
having dialogue back and forth
Mhm.
with these questions.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of trauma um from parents to children. Um
Hmm.
and they become adults and they're
Hmm.
trying to work through that trauma while dating. And I don't know how good that is,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But if they
Because
spoil, that's totally different. That ain't the parents gonna cost anything. That's just this child, or this adult you with, totally
it
different.
all comes from the parent. We
Mhm,
have a cousin that
mhm.
vowed. I have family members that said would say, "I'm never going to get married because da 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 this happened. Da da da. I saw this. I saw that." So they were looking at us, saying they wasn't going to get married because what we were doing.
Mm. You
Yeah,
said we have a cousin that was looking at us. Who is us? We
like
have a cousin.
yeah,
All our
everybody in
cousins our
these
age, ain't it?
marriages in general.
Oh well,
Period.
you said because of us. When look, I'm literal. So let me. If you ain't caught on by now, Latrice is very literal. One of my kids like that too, and it drive me up
I,
the wall.
it's
But
not
I'm
really
literal. So if
talking
I
about
hear
you.
they was watching us, then my mind go to wait a minute, what cousin is watching us? So
Yeah, but
you got to be clear for me.
yeah, watching us. Yeah, watching us. That's all I can
We
say. Watching us.
okay.
Maybe
So
not
me and you.
you. And
Okay.
I
But when
say
you
us
say us and
because
we're on the
you are
phone, you got
part
to
of
be
my
not phone,
family.
but
And some of those things you didn't take part in,
I
or
got
you
you.
wasn't around.
Correct.
So
I
you
got you.
can say not me, because
But then when
what.
you say us, I'm like, who is
But
this
I'm
child?
saying us because
Look,
yeah,
look, I'm
us.
a deep
We
dive.
both
I'm a deep
as
diver. See,
one.
see these
Yeah,
100
as a one.
questions, and I'm be like, who, girl? Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
But you'll know, you will know. You won't go away not knowing
yeah.
who was she talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So
I am because you ain't told, but I'm gonna find out after this podcast.
yeah,
So we ain't put now we okay with being out there, Kim and I, but we're not doing that to our family members.
right. No, no,
Yeah.
no, never.
Mhm. So we'll discuss that part offline just so I can see.
We did. Yeah.
Because I
But
do talk
see,
to some of our cousins. They're not my age, they're younger than me. And I think the ones that I even talk to, they're young, but two of them have gotten married. But yeah. So look, is it us meaning us
I'm
or is it
saying,
a parent? Or is it because of a parent?
oh
That's what I'm trying to find.
no. When I
Oh.
said that, like they watch us, it comes from homes. A lot of our family members, some of our not a lot of our family members, some of our family members look at relationships from the elders, at their relationships.
Mm,
They was watching those relationships, and no, I don't want to get married. They watch those
mm.
relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of them didn't get married or are not married, and the ones that they got married still trauma in the marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh,
So
I
it
got
starts from
you.
home. It starts.
Yeah.
Kids start looking at what comes. It starts from home.
Yeah.
Everything starts from home. I don't care. That baby starts to walk from home. Starts to listen. Start you and that father or that father and that mother is that child's God because it doesn't know God. It knows you. You're the one protecting it. You're the one feeding it. You're the one giving it the clothes. You're growing that seed, and they're listening to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I say it comes from home. A parent needs to start instilling it and talk about the word all the time. Talk about Jesus all the time. You don't have to get in public and do it, but you're home with your kids. You're raising them. Put them in there. Put them in cleaning if they don't
Mhm.
want to be clean. God like cleanliness. Put them in there. That's
Yep.
it.
He has to be part of your daily life.
Yeah.
Just that's it, and it don't have to be preachy. As a matter of fact, I think that's the wrong way to go. I think it has to be teachy because
Yeah.
I grew up with the Bible about preachy. About just preaching. Want
Yeah.
nobody doing nothing.
Yeah.
Preachy. I think
Teach.
the teaching, this evolving that we've gotten
That's
to
right.
understanding the Bible better. Um,
And you know
I
why my
yeah.
grandkids trust me and listen to me? You know why? Because when we
Are
talk
they
about
young? No, I'm just playing.
no,
Keep going.
when we
No, I'm
talk
being funny.
about it, we get the book on everything, and I let them read what I'm telling them, so they don't
Mhm,
think that I'm telling them. I'm telling you
mhm,
what I read, so I want you to read it too. That's
mhm.
why they believe and trust what I say because I'm
Gotcha.
letting them see it as
Well, you
well.
also have to be walking. Yeah, you gotta be walking. It can't just be because they just reading it. You gotta be walking that walk too. They
Yeah,
gotta see you.
right,
Yeah, they gotta see that you're
right.
doing it because yeah,
That's
look,
right.
baby, I could tell you one thing in your face, but I got a brain. I'm gonna go by myself. So
Yeah,
it ain't
that's
just
right.
because
And
you
that's
showing them in
it.
that word. You gotta be
Right.
walking that walk, and they watching their
That's right.
grandmother. So
Right.
no, that ain't.
Yeah. No, no,
Because
no.
that's what they were doing with
I
the
wouldn't be
Bible back
doing
then.
anything bad and then tell them,
Yeah,
well, you're supposed to be doing this
exactly.
read. No, no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything like that. If somebody else, the way we get onto something, my grandkids will watch stuff and then they'll come to me and we'll talk about it. And then I'll put the
Hmm.
word with it and we'll read it and say, ooh, this is what pleasing to God. This is what he wants us to do.
That's what I'm
That's
saying though.
how
You're
we do
walking the walk with it because,
it.
but you said just because you show them the word. Because you got to think they showed us the word
No,
when we were
I
young.
wasn't saying that. I was just,
Them people was not walking the walk.
I
People
know
don't like
that's what
that.
I
They don't.
said. I
Yeah.
said that.
So yeah, it's
That's what
because you
I'm
walking
saying.
that walk too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
easier to believe what you're reading because you
Yeah.
see it. That's
Yes.
that's that's what that is. Because
Yes.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm one of those. I don't care nothing about nobody reading no Bible every day. I said this for years, and I still believe that. I don't care how often you read a Bible. I don't care how often you flip out a scripture. What is your life like?
That's right. You can
Because I
tell.
saw it growing up.
Yep.
Bible thumpers,
Yep.
people, what do you call it? Hollering out. They can quote a
Yeah.
scripture and then
Yeah.
go over there and yeah, that's what they watching you too. That's
That's
what
right.
they
Right.
watching that
All
you're
the and I
reading
have
it.
to walk
Yes.
whenever, and they will tell you. My grandson almost said, "Grandma, you think you goody two shoe?" But he wasn't saying it like that. He was saying it because when he asks me something, I give him an answer, and it makes him smile.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about Jesus. And I asked him about Jesus because that's all we talk about. Because they already know Grandma don't have nothing else to talk about. Let's talk about this. So yeah,
Now, how old is he?
he's 7. He's
Why would he
very
say you think you good at two shoes? Somebody, girl, he done
because
heard this from somebody.
girl, he is something serious. He got his own. I told him, boy, you have your own little character. Because when he come to ask me something, I'm going to give him an answer. So I guess when people don't know how to give him an answer, and I'm going to give him
Mhm,
an answer. He comes straight to me to ask me everything. You want me to tell you this? Let me ask you this, Grandma, Mama. Let me
mhm,
ask you this. You want me to tell you that? So he's listening, and he smiled. It was like a joke to him. Like he's really not. That's why I said I didn't really want to say it, but I said it because he really doesn't mean anything about it. He likes to clown. He likes to
mhm.
like joke. Because I tell him, boy, you're gonna be a clown. He be like, what's a clown? I ain't gonna be a clown with red nose. I was like, no, like a
Oh
jokester,
yeah, you
like
told me that before. Yeah.
yeah, because he liked to tell jokes. He said, I can make you smile. That's why he does that. Like I'll be like, boy, you finna be a little comedian because you want to joke on everything, and he'll be like, because I want to make you smile, and that's it. So yeah, and his mom keep him. She gonna make him, baby. She gonna make him be a gentleman. So yeah.
Oh, we're good.
She's trying to be a gentleman. So yeah.
Good. He got that mixture. Got both.
Yeah, that's good. So that's what I'm saying. Now we are instilling in our generation to follow us. We're we're trying to do that so they can take it on, and when they go to a date or get into a relationship, they can ask these kind of questions, and or if these questions are asked of them, they can give them the right answer.
Or look, or listen to them very closely and let them go on about their business afterward.
Right. Right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So
all right, you guys. I
yeah,
think that's it for today. I think
yeah. I hope you got something out of it. I mean, I hope they reach someone, something, just one word or, a question. That question is a good question. You're going on a date or you're going to get a job or something, that question is a good question. And the way Latrice led it in is a good way to lead it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Relationship growing up with your parents. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So check us out on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will meet you all back here again.
Yeah.
And you would catch us on any platform where you're listening to a podcast. All right. From startup to takeover.
www.
Watch us work. We are out. Good night.
Good night.